Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for having us here in this great room of incredible, inspirational ideas and minds. I'm humbled to be with all of you guys, so thank you so much. I am the VP of lots of things at Beautiful. As many of you in the startup world know, that you spend time doing a lot of different projects and jobs. So thank you so much for having me. Just a quick couple questions for the audience. How many of you do presentations for internal, mostly projects? What about external? And both? All right. And then who's a designer? I think he just asked that last one, so a few of you. And who's sort of technical? Right, and you cannot ask me questions later. You can ask other people on our team. And who's a competitor? Anyone willing to admit it? Just kidding, we're all learning from each other. Lastly, how often do you create presentations? Daily? Weekly? Monthly? So a lot of people, okay. So the gist of what we are gonna go over today is just sort of what we are and who we are. I wanna share the generative AI features that I'll be demoing for you. That's the more interesting part, and sort of what's coming next. We started in 2016, and the idea that Mitch Grasso, our founder, had was really around making sure that we could automate design in presentations, that we were trying to remove the friction and the difficulty in creating presentations every day, that you didn't have to be a designer, or if you were a designer, how can we make things easy for you? We also then launched into team and enterprise. So really thinking about how do you collaborate? How do you work with other people across large organizations or small teams? So we really thought about brand. How do you control your brand? How do you make sure that the elements and the pieces of your decks don't go rogue? And then with generative, we've been able to just kind of put some horsepower behind the product. The product as it was had a lot of automation, but generative is just sort of added to that, which is what I'm going to show you. So that's basically a little bit of history of Beautiful. I'm going to go over a full deck, how we create a full deck from a prompt, individual slides, some of the text to image, which you've seen a lot of today, and then our writing assistant. I will mention, as you all know, AI is evolving. It's evolving really fast. And what we felt was really important to remember is that your deck still needs to be perfect. Even with AI, it can't just be okay or have non-truths. So the fact that we use AI means you also need to be able to finagle and work within our product easily and in minutes have a great product. So I just kind of wanted to preface that. So let me just move over, whoops. I was testing it out with Super Bowl. I don't know if anyone's excited about that, as excited as I am. So when you create a presentation in Beautiful, you have the opportunity to have a blank presentation, generate that with AI, which is what I'm going to go over. But we also have templates. So you could have a team template. Maybe your sales team or your marketing team has a template that you want to lock down. Also, we have some inspiration. But again, we really thought a lot about how do you make sure you control your brand and keep things consistent. You can also import a PowerPoint, but who cares about PowerPoint? Anyway, so I just want to show you, this is where the prompt begins. And I'm going to use predefined prompts just for speed. But I wanted to show you that you can also train the AI with additional context. So if you wanted to upload a file, maybe you have some PDF that you're using for your company. You can put a web page if you want to give it more context, so you can put the URL in. Or maybe you want to just copy and paste a really big piece of text. So I'm going to start with, I don't have any relationship with Apple or AirTag, but we're going to just use that anyway. So I'm going to type that in and generate the presentation. A couple things while that's running. It takes a couple, maybe somewhere between 30 seconds and a minute. The LLMs that we have relationships with have ideas of their own. So for example, they would like you to use a variety of slides, but you may not want to use a variety of slides. So we had to kind of think a little bit about how do we help train this LLM within our product. We also told it we wanted to have between 10 and 12 or 8 to 12 slides. And that was a decision that we made. Maybe we'll change it, but you can add additional generative slides as we go. Couple other things. We wanted it to fit into what we call smart slides. And our smart slides are really the ethos of Beautiful. And those are slides that are often full of friction. They're difficult. They're org charts. They're team slides. They're milestone journeys. And so all of these, I'm going to show you how they work. But we have given it some ideas. But sometimes, like the LLM wants you to have a word cloud when you don't want a word cloud in your professional presentation. As soon as it's done, it'll pop up. There we go. Okay, so it didn't use the image right, so I'm going to move. It's a good opportunity to show you the image. So I can either search our stock images for AirTag, or I could create one with Generative, which I think I did already. But it's a good opportunity to show you that you can create any image you want. We do have a relationship with DALL-E, and again, that's very much dependent on how good you are at prompting. It's not working as fast as I want. So let me go back to stock images for a second. I can type in AirTag, and I can pick whichever one I want, and it pops it in. It's a good opportunity to show you what I mean by smart slides. You can easily change the way the slide is laid out. You can move where the image is. We think those things shouldn't take you much time. There's no reason for you to be shuffling things around. You can see there's a variety also of, this is interesting, it has the S&P branding on it, and I'll show you how to change that. So there's a variety of slides. The timetable, a lot of I haven't obviously been able to look at this to see how accurate it is, but it does usually cite the sources. Another thing you can do is quickly switch out the logos. We have a huge file of logos. You don't need to copy and paste them. And I'm just going to show you, if you wanted to add a milestone, for example, you could quickly just add a milestone, and it just makes things a lot easier than I'm sure what you guys have tried in the past. So that gives you an example of a full slide presentation. You can add an individual slide. And this is where you can choose from, again, many smart slides. A lot of our slides, we have a huge library of things that you can do, everything from adding a URL and having the URL be able to scroll. You can add video. You can even do video overlay. So you'll get an opportunity to try the product, but I just did want to mention that. But for today, we're going to generate one, again, with the AI prompts. The more information you give it, the better the result will be. So I'm going to use a prompt, create a slide using a chart. Let's see. You guys can read that. There we go. Okay. So again, if we give you a starting place, or you've given yourself a starting place with one sentence, or maybe you've given some context, you still might want to add slides. We are cloud-based. You can move slides around. One thing that's really nice that I want to mention is that you can have a library of slides within your company or organization. And with that library, you can have the different presentations. If you update it in the library, it can then update across all those platforms. Some other things about the smart slide, you can change the chart type. Maybe you want columns. Maybe you want it filled. You can add an additional chart. So another thing you can do within the data is that you can import data from a lot of our partners, or maybe you want to just drag and drop. So that's kind of an example of that. Let's see, I did want to see if we could put in, I'm just kind of showing you what it produced. We'll see if the image will work again. Let's see. So again, if I want to swap out this image, it'll allow me to generate. And I use this quite a bit. Really like playing pickleball, so you might see some of the images that I created about pickleball on here. If the Wi-Fi is not working well enough today, I don't know if I can. There we go. So there's pickleball. But so I'm going to use the same prompt. Again, as you know, with AI, you are going to likely get different results for the same prompt. Let's see. So we'll try that again. This actually is used a little bit less than other of our features, But we do allow you to import if there's other tools that have created a great AI picture for you, then absolutely you can import it. So this is what it came up with. I actually like the other one better. So I can just pop that right in. Another thing is about the branding that I mentioned. You can switch to a different theme. So maybe you want to go with our Beautiful theme or some of our inspirational themes. And you can select it and it will change your entire presentation. So there we go. And then I'm going to just go back here. So we're so excited for all of you to try it, because really what's special about our tool is not often only the end result. You often don't know how someone got to their presentation. What we really pride ourselves on is how easy it is to create the presentations. And so I really encourage you to use it. This is 3 months free of Team or Pro. Team, like I mentioned, is really much more collaborative. I hope you'll try that if you're in a big team or a small team. So hopefully you guys can take advantage of that. And we have a booth in the back where you can demo the product today. Feel free to reach out to me with any questions. I can steer you in the right direction, and I'll be standing over there as well. So thank you guys so much. Really excited to share Beautiful with you.